Hello. Is this working this time? Have I gotten the what do you call it? What do I call it? The actual mic working? Yes, the mic is working. Okay, good to know. How are you all doing tonight? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're back for another late edition of Roadwarden. I think yes, it is the name. I'll be honest, I keep forgetting the name of this game. I was thinking today, I was just hanging out and I was like, oh fuck, what's the name of that game that I was playing last night that I had a lot of fun with? And it's called Roadwarden. I don't know what it was. I want to say it was like called Road Guard or something like that, but Roadwarden is nice. I guess we're gonna get back to it. I think last time we left off, we started the game, and I think right now we're at a little inn that we were talking to the big woman who was there. Let's get to it. Ah, listening to the grunts of the annoyed Glim makes you feel uneasy, but at least the fur is covering the floor, helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning. And while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it. Ah, yes, Glim is our horse. He's very good. Or our Palavev. It's a horse. It's a horse. I think I've asked her all the questions I can. So let's see what she has for sale. Oh God, what was her voice? I don't remember. It was like, it was like really Irish, wasn't it? No, I don't want to. It might have been Shrek. It might have been Shrek. I know there was one character that I was like, no, don't make it Shrek, don't make it Shrek, and I totally made the fucking voice Shrek sound with that. But let's try it. Oh yeah, I need some water. Um, I drank some chocolate milk earlier, so my throat might be a little bit phlegmy because chocolate milk does that to me, but chocolate milk's good, so I don't care. Um, now you're talking, she grins. Or she grins. Well, I could serve some of my cooking, not food rations, mind you. Need what we can say for the winter season. Let's say you give me a dragon, and in return I'll cook for you 4 times. You just need to ride up when you're hungry. Other than that, you won't take any wood or stone, are ya? Seeing you shrug, she waves it off and heads towards the trapdoor. After a minute, she shows up with a sack that clangs every step. I can sell you some scraps. She pulls out a couple of iron-class nails and a broken steel blade. A value trash. We found them while foraging. We don't have a furnace in creeks, but you could sell these bits and pieces to someone else. She observes her for a moment, then shrugs. Let's discuss the price. Let me take a look first. Fresh meals or... Wow, we have no fucking money. Never mind. All right, let's get that hell out of here. Time for me to go. Can we? How well can we wash ourselves? You enter the bridge and move to its edge. Somewhere below you notice a glimmer. Hey you! Step back! Run! Without even thinking, you leap towards the yard. A long, teeth-filled mouth breaks the watered surface, splashing it in every direction. It bites the empty place where you were just standing, while the front limbs, thick-scaled and ending with claws as large as your fingers, land on the wood. Once the saurian's yellow eyes notice that you're outside of its reach, it nonchalantly slides into the lake. You hear the laughter coming from the large forager, who's wearing leather, was running with help, but now stands with hands on his thighs, cackling without rest. The man in black fur, on the other hand, looks at you with worry. You see a hand kept beneath his cloak, as he was reaching for something. What are you doing? Hey, this ain't for outsiders. I guess Aaron, thank you for the warning. I'll stay away. I raise my voice. Maybe warn me first. He adjusts the cloak so that he's fully covered. How could I know Roadwarden can't handle a day without a bath? Do you need some rose water with it? His companion stops laughing and tells his companion to get back to work. They move towards the gate. Well, I guess we're out of here. Let us see. All right. So I think we can recap a little bit better on the map here. So this is where we started. There's Tulia's camp we're looking for. So here's our goals from what I know. We're trying to find the old Roadwarden because he just disappeared half a year ago. What else is there? All right. We need to talk to the mayor about the bandits from the tavern. Was talking about that. There's the enchantress over there. We can check her out. I think actually we can probably go check her out now if we wanted to. But this whole fucking path is like nothing but like wolves. So we're gonna need a spear before we do that. Then we go to the cabin. I do want to go there. I think that's mostly it. I can't remember what our actual. Hang on. I think we can check our archive. Or no, it's our journals. Our actual goal. Yeah, explore the peninsula. Yeah, I have to leave the peninsula on the 40th day of my journey. Yeah, we're trying to explore and make sure that this place. Oh no, we're trying to discuss with the Havalavan if they will basically surrender. Oh, bring the news to there. Never mind. I think that's what it is. Yeah, secure the roads by getting rid of any major threats and convince the tribes to negotiate with the officials so we can basically take over this place. I think is what we're doing. Okay, move my mic a little bit. All right. Twistea, thank you for the sub, Twistedea. I appreciate it. Which way can we go? Wait, fuck. Did they tell me? Oh, I wait. Do I have in the archive at all where she said I could go? I do not. Fuck. Maybe the journal says it. And rating. Thank you. Oh my god, that's such an old fucking. Oh my, I completely forgot about that notification. I've not changed that for a while. Thank you for the rage this day. I appreciate it. That's a lot of emotes. What even emotes are there? Oh, they're yours. Okay, that makes more sense. Jesus. Okay, I get it. Not twisted. Are you so? Well, hello everyone. You've been transported to a hopefully slightly comfy reading stream. Hey Reviv, how you doing? Hello, J Slap fan. Okay, let's see. Groups and places. Oh wait, yeah, okay. This is so connects to the monster in the west. I can't remember which way it said to go. I think we might find like a crossroads thing, so we'll look for that. I think north is where we want to go. No wholesome bad. Hey Zombie, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Yo, what the fuck? You got ugly. Hello. What does that mean? I did not get ugly. It's a new model. Don't worry about it. It looks good. Shut up. Let's see. Let's go up. Fuck it. I completely forgot which way we had to go. This is like yesterday at, well, around, actually, probably about like 24 hours before. Actually, no, it's probably near the end. So it's been a while. It's been at least a day. You follow the road spread between the hills and lonely trees until you reach a solid wooden bridge, not older than a generation. You ride uphill, but Glim managed to keep up. Also, by the way, just in case you're wondering, Glim is the horse we're riding. Jesus fuck. You gave one to Red. I haven't talked to Red in so long. Thank you, thank you, Taya, for the 5 gift subs. That is going to do that every 5 seconds now. I wish I could change that. Twisted I don't know why I didn't. Sub to Superman put on weight like a middle-aged. What does that mean? I'm not. I didn't get fatter. Then you got Honey Boo Boo as a kid. Twisted what the fuck does that mean? To Holy Madman. Those are like. I feel like they're supposed to be insults, but they're so Is there a strip run? There's not a strip. No
Twisted Daya
horning. That
gifted a
is not
tier
what we
1 sub
do.
to Spoopy_coconut.
We have one button. Actually, we have technically 3 buttons. We have one button and it does this. That is all. That is the only button I press that does something now.
Twisted Daya gifted a tier 1 sub to
That's just gonna
Sir_donut.
keep doing that. Wait, did that? Okay, it finally stopped. Thank you. Game Boy import protagonist vibes. Honestly, yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, something like that. I just wanted something that would stand out that wasn't like a generic Vroid model. That looks slightly more interesting. I do have to say it is a little weird because the face tracking looks a little stiff, but that's because every time I look to the right to where I'm actually looking at chat, uh, my face track is a little weird because I look away from the camera. When I'm actually looking towards the camera, it's a little bit more better. Yeah. Stand outside my brother. Cry. What? Oh, shit. I should probably read the thing I was set here to read. Jesus. You follow the road spread between the hills and lonely trees until you reach a solid wooden bridge, not older than a generation. You ride uphill, but Glim manages to keep up. The dark woods in the south are behind a gently humming creek. While the forest on your right was trimmed by the locals, it is a peaceful journey, at least for some time. After a few minutes, you spot a group of wolves feasting on a fallen, furry beast. God damn it, the furries. My apologies. Why do you have a rat emote? What the fuck? Maybe a wizened. One of them looks towards you. Damn it, we have wolves eating on furries. Is that technically cannibalism at this point? And I ride a bit faster. I don't know why. This entire side of the map is nothing but fucking wolves, and we can't really withstand them. Ooh. The road fades into an old tunnel. There are no signs of mining, no signposts, no human voices. The ceiling is supported by wooden beams, and the light only reaches so far. The chilling wind mercilessly bends the few lonely trees, while the shrubs oppose the weather patiently. The side path leading west is somewhat maintained, and you find both boot prints and cart tracks. It leads higher into the mountains. Oh, I can actually enter the tunnel. Okay. Wolves are in the forest. You know that if you went outside, my brother in Christ. Look. I don't need to. Yeah. Oh God. It's been a while since someone's redeemed anything. You know that I'll let. By the way, what that does, I just do this and then I go nya, 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 nya. That's all that does. But now I'll have cat ears for. I'll never time it. I just kind of have them until I decide to take them off. But yeah. Oh fuck! I realized I forgot to put the model artist in the actual. Hold up. I'm gonna have to do that. Not right now, but I have to put the model artist, the new one, in the panels once I get to it. Oh wow, I tabbed out and that lagged everything for a second. It's fine. I take a glimpse of the tree, then enter the tunnel. Your mount observes the area anxiously, so you stay for a moment to give it a good scratch under its neck and say confident sounding rubbish. You unpack all the things you need to make a simple new torch. Or a new simple torch. A log, some old rugs, a bit of oil, and a bit of oil. You grab your tinderbox and sit on the ground for a couple of minutes, preparing the flint and the linen char cloth. Decades ago, before the southern invasion, people used fire strikers made of thick steel, but all you have is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's not the best, but it's enough to make a couple of sparks. The loud, flickering yellow light. Your voice. You can't just. Why would you redeem the awoof? Do you want me to? Hang on a second. Do you want me to just read this? Here, I'll read the next page in an awoof voice. I'm gonna refund your points, but I will read the next page in an awoof voice. I will promise you that. Oh God. Oh, I thought I just closed OBS. I'll be honest, I clicked on OBS by accident, and I really thought I just closed it. We'll read the next page. A loud flickering, it's not the best, but it's enough to make a couple sparks. Loud flickering yellow light unevenly hits your cheek with heat. You raise the torch but hold it at an angle, letting the oil drip on the ground. No refund. No next page, no refund. What do you mean? I gave you the refund, don't worry. You get your points back, and I'm going to read the next page. Let's see what the tunnel leads. Okay. No, this is what you're doing. This is what you get. If you don't give me a sentence to say, that's all I can do. That's what the entire point of the Awoo Voice Redemption was. I should make like a longer one that's like 10,000 points. That's like a Woo Voice for like 5 minutes or something like that. I should that. I didn't think I'd actually have to do the Woo Voice anytime soon. I was actually thinking of removing it at one point because like, no one really does it anymore. Just that fun. Oh, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. I'm dropping lots of subs today. Damn. Like, it's September, so that is a thing. I think they're cheaper or something like that. I think they are. Yeah. Holy shit. I think that's definitely a few today. I'll put that there. Okay, hang on. Let me redeem the voice. Do you want to do? Okay, after this stream, I will put in a redeem. Oh, that lagged for some reason. I have no idea the fuck why I did that. Oh wait, is Steam downloading? Hang on, Steam's downloading something. Yeah, Steam just casually downloaded. Steam. I know I told you that once, but not right now. Not during the stream. I don't know. I remember how to do the woo voice anymore. It's a woo, fucky wucky. So that was the key phrase I used to have. Was the a woo fucky wucky, or we made a fucky wucky, a fucko boingo. Our co-monkeys are working very very hard. I have a line to request. Oh no. Keep it what's the word? Somewhat safe. People maybe say some weird 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 questionable things before. So uh keep it a little safe. That's all I request. For a few minutes, you follow a fairly straight corridor. The timber supporting the ceiling is decaying, but you don't spot any signs of collapse. The floor is littered with bones and rotting food, most likely dragged in here by wild beasts. But there are so many. Fuck! It doesn't help that I can't barely fucking read. But there are also signs of soot above you. Oh no! Oh whoa! And boot prints left on the mud. You reach the crossroads and stop in place. There's no sconce. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, sconce in sight. So you have to constantly query the torch or lose it for good. Oh no! And it won't last for long anyway. The raft is hardly noticeable, so looking for an exit in the dark could be dangerous. Oh, woo. There we go. No, I didn't make it that weird. Okay, that's good. I feel like it's very strange to go right from a voice to my normal voice. 'Cause I feel like my normal voice is like deepish. Oh, I just accent. I just accidentally exposed that. Yeah. So my model can do this now, which is strange. That was worth my money. I have 27K points. If you need more practice on the pages, God damn it! It's been so long because I feel like I have two different Awoo voices. I have the like cartoon sidekick, as I call that one. And redeem it. Damn it! Why aren't you able to redeem it? Do you mean as like the 5 minutes or whatever, or just in general? You can just all you have to do is I think hit the redeem and then like type in a sentence and it works. You can redeem it, and unless something on Twitch is breaking. I've had that before. I've had like Timber. I don't know if you remember Timber. He like can't type in my chat. No idea why. I think he fixed it once, but he didn't know tell. You have a pissed off Dilf voice. What the fuck? It tells me it's out of stock. Why is it out of stock? Wait. Hang on. What did I do to that one? Hold up. I want to see this now. Because I might have... I think I made it to like... It happens every like 5 minutes. Is what you can do. A woo voice. Let's see. I think there's a cooldown on it. What's the cooldown? Cooldown limits. Yeah, it's 5 minutes cooldown. That was the cooldown on it. Oh wow, I forget I had some old ones that I fucking did. I removed a woo voice in game because I felt like I would end up just kind of like being bad about that, and also sing in a woo voice because hearing me sing is already torture. Why would you want to do it in a voice I can't do? I'm like a TikTok user that has an TikTok user that has an eternity for my people. What is it? Millennials these days. Sorry, I saw something today. It was like these content consuming millennials wouldn't last 5 minutes inside the Earth's core or something like that. I suppose tunnel. Okay, so we can't go in the tunnel. We have to wait till we get like a lantern. I go outside. Limbs over in the short grass with little enthusiasm. Okay, travel. So we could go back that way. I think that's. Oh, we went forward. I didn't actually mean doing that. Fuck. The detour is not as smooth as the main road. A wagon can make it through, but even so, you have to squeeze between some narrow corridors. Hoping no beast is going to jump at you from a ledge, you walk leading your mounts with an axe in your hand. In the middle of the road, after reaching one of the higher hills, take a glance ahead. Even from here, you see the sun reflecting from the ocean, but there's also a pillar of smoke coming from the distant west. There may be a volcano somewhere behind the horizon, but you can't tell if it's part of the peninsula, or maybe a yet stranger land. Once you get to the other side of the mountain, you find the northern entrance in the tunnel, blocked by a large bronze gate. So tall and wide, you're not sure if there's something you could open it with. Your muscles alone. There's a keyhole as well, as large as your hand. Unlocking the tunnel would save me a lot of time. I'm surprised no one tried to steal the door. Can we steal the door? Hang on. I kind of want to say that. Can we steal it? Oh, no, we just had to walk by it. Oh, no, I want to use it. Fuck. You get a good look at the village from distant hills. It's torn between taming the crags and succumbing to their whims. The great bulge like rotting teeth of a giant, sprinkled around by an ancient spirit. The carved cave mouths are covered with wooden doors. There are only a few windows, and you can only imagine how dark and cold the gouged out rooms have to be. The buildings and walls made of logs or stone blocks must be much younger than the caves. The impressive whitewashed keeps standing on the top of the hill in the west, could just as well have been built in the city. Smoke rises from both sides of the wild river. You see many busy souls that go about moving tools, food, and timber over the bridges. Your arrival at the eastern gate causes some curious glances, but the only person who approaches you is a man who is sitting at a table, discussing something with a few elders. He's carrying a crossbow on his back, and a long rusty knife at his side, but doesn't reach for them. Children yearn for the caves and the mines. That's why. Is that an argument for child labor again? Listen. I'm not saying I. No, I'm not even gonna. Imagine I just like spent like the next like hour going into a weird political rant that we need to reinstate hard child labor. The only way children can learn is in the mines. Just like the most like puffing on a cigar. Like, God damn those ingrates. Those bastards don't know what I did for them, and that kind of thing. One of these days, I'll become an ugly bastard. You're a VTuber. You're the future of propaganda. Do it. Become an oil baron. And what is the line? Anything can be bought and sold for the right oils. Like that. Like VTuber, you're the future of propaganda. I don't know why. I just feel like somehow that's true. I don't know. Jesus, it must be a guard. I dismount. Every now and then I have to remember I'm playing a video game at the same time. Although it's more reading a video game. It's like quite lovely and comfy. The man has to be older than 40. He wears an elegant blue-green linen tunic, but has no armor. His skin is yellowish, like seaweed seen through a sunbeam. His long gray hair is tied in a ponytail, and his beard is trimmed to half a finger's length. A few large cysts make him look sickly, but his powerful, truckle voice adds him to strength and confidence. Listen, alright, I know a good bit of reading comprehension. Man plays a reading game but can't read. That is slightly true. The Gen Z logic. Listen, how else am I gonna learn to read but reading? I don't see any alternative here. No, there's certain words. It has actually been a while, as we discussed last stream, but it's been a while since I've really like sat down and like read a book. Last thing I read was the Elden Ring manga. That's a gag manga. So, yeah. What should we get this guy a voice? He says he's weird. No, he's how tall did he say it was? Long gray hair tied to a ponytail. Oh, he's older. Cheers, stranger. You've reached Gale Rocks, did? He observes your mount and looks at the path behind you. I see no caravan from here. Are they coming? He suddenly meets your eyes and his tone gets even harsher. Or are you here to idle about? They still make books? I think so. Imagine, you know what's funny? Sorry, I need water. How like the Kindle was like supposed to like overtake books and it kind of did. Do they even make Kindles anymore? Like, have we reached the point where it's like we've got like I remember learning the bit where like, oh no, like people are reading books online more now, and now is it like people just don't fucking read books any? It's like not even online. They don't even make the bit that's supposed to make books anymore. God fucking damn it. Okay. Fine. I will do this one. Jesus Christ. I don't even know. Hang on. I'm getting close to the mic for this. You're gonna hear every lip smack, hang on, let me get some water in here. Let's get some water ASMR. No, I had like a perfect cartoon swallow noise. I don't know if it came out of mic, but I was like, I did it. I was like, fuck! I should put my throats in the mic, and didn't make it. I'm sorry, but Margaret Thatcher ASMR broadcast time. God damn it! I love when the Queen died. There was like a fucking what do you call it? There was like an interview with like an old woman that was circling around, that like she was around when Margaret Thatcher died, and she just said like, wrap her in fucking, what is it? It was put a stake in her heart and wrap her in garlic till she never comes back. We are about to invade the Falklands, exactly. Um, oh whoa, I ate or wait, is it way? No, it's oh whoa, I ate too many pizza rolls. Oopsie whoopsie. My chubby cheeks make me look like my no, that's not good enough. It's hang on. Oh woo, fucky wucky. Oh whoa, I ate too many pizza rolls. Oopsie whoopsie. My chubby cheeks make me look like my hero Winston Churchill. Whoa. Also, by the way, I'm very glad you chose that one because I keep forgetting I can do that. It's really fun. Just this model's the greatest. I love this model so fucking much. I'm taking out the cat ears now. I've degenerated myself enough. You've had your time. I need to do more things to remove your points. I will give you one more on that woo, because I want to make sure I give you the best woo I can. So without further ado. Oh, I feel like that ruined my throat more than helped it. Actually, hang on a second. Oh whoa, oh whoa! I ate way too many pizza rolls. Oopsie whoopsie! My chubby cheeks make me look like my hero Winston Churchill. Whoa! Why is that thing? I got what I came for. Thank you. You're welcome. I feel like my woo voice has evolved over time. I don't think it got better. I think it got worse. I don't know. I'll have to cut to me like tomorrow morning. Like it like just woken up. Like brushed my teeth. Did my morning routine. Staring into the window like, or into the mirror like, okay. Oh whoa, just like trying to like totally get it back. Like, I gotta get back to my former glory. The days where I could contain chat, which is nothing but a woo voices, are gone. They're gone. I don't know how to do a sad face with this model yet. They're gone. They're gone. I can't really do it very well. I'll actually have to ask the model artist about that to see what it is. What was I talking about? All right. I listened to the nearby conversations. Right, a video game. You have to get used to some of the local words and phrases that we have to put your index fingers in your cheeks to do it properly. What does that mean? Wait, what? Whoa. Wait, why does that kind of work? Hang on. Oh, I ate way too many pizza rolls. Oopsie whoopsie. My cherry cheeks make it look like my hero Winston Churchill. Oh, whoa. Did you just... I've just realized this. You just managed to get me to stick my fingers in my mouth. I don't really want to think about how you managed to do that so easily. And I don't want to think about how influenceable I was just a second there. So I'm going to ignore this entire exchange happened and finish Rose reading and wipe the spit off my hands. It's gross. There's a napkin here. There we go. I don't know how you hold me on the outside. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean the outside? Wait, what? Wait, did I read that wrong? No, it says you gotta put... Wait, hey, hang on a second. It said you have to put your index fingers in your cheeks to do it. Wait, oh. Hold up a second. Wait, so... Oh, you push the cheeks in. Oh, that makes slightly more sense. Okay, let's try it. Oh, whoa, I like my pizza. No, it doesn't sound better. Yeah, no, I think it actually was better when I stuck my finger. No, all right. How to use some of the local words and phrases that you've only heard coming from the mouths of the oldest city folk. The vast similarities to the tongue of Havalavan only make the difference more distracting. Like a glass pulled into the core page of an index. I don't know what that means. Something to be friendly? Don't worry, friend. I have things to do, and I won't bother anyone. No, you must have sucked dick for the first time in accident. I don't have any, I have no response to that, so I'm just going to ignore it, and hopefully keep the last shreds of my dignity. Otherwise, yeah, I've got nothing else to say that. I grinned wildly. Now, just show you some tricks on. I'm on the way. You know, second yolks in your egg, images in fire, that sort of stuff. Nah. I'm a road warden. I'm here to solve problems, not cause harm. Right now, it's you who's wasting my time. I think it's okay, gay boy. It's 2020. Is it still 2020? You could probably convince me it is. Luckily, we're not as much in fucking quarantine. Even though we probably should still have, you know, a little bit better COVID measures than we do. But that's neither here nor there. Tonight is not the night to get into political rants, hopefully. That's tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. Not tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're playing, what are we playing tomorrow night? We're playing You Suck at Parking, I think, tomorrow night. So, not that either. Let's see. Or, trust me, I have enough problems of my own now to seek new ones. I think I'll just be cold. I'm a road warden. I'm here to solve problems, not cause them. Another road warden? Are all them parents in the South too dumb to teach the kids how to keep their fingers in their own pots? He shakes his head with exaggerated motions and looks at the elders at the table. A road warden, see that? Trying to cut the conversation short, you lead Glim inside, but you stop right away. Leave it by the walls until it's nightfall, right? We ain't cleaned our roads then after any drifters, bards, or adventurers, he speaks to growing disgust. Don't worry, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't like him. You tether your horse to the stems of a shrub, and the man nods with approval, then turns around. Stuff, it's okay, gay boy, it's 2020. I don't know why it's really funny. Let's see, won't someone show me around? He scoffs. And what else? Want me to pour you a beer? Take care of what you have to do and scat outsider? Without another word, he returns to the group of elders where he helps one of them remove bones from their meal. I wish I could punch them. I can talk to the gatekeeper again, just see what happens. Go to the gatekeeper. The guard you met when you first arrived at the village is leaning against the wall, observing both the gates and the mount. Whenever Glim snorts, the gatekeeper reaches for his axe. He sighs and notices your gaze. What? In most of those, people are much more hospitable. I'll ask this. Have you been bothered by bandits in recent seasons? What do you mean bandits? Those useless group of soldiers already faced them half a year ago. Ain't you heard in Hollow Valon they killed and got killed? He shrugged. If there's nothing more to add, but you try to push him, if there's anything more to add, but you try and push him harder, sharing some of the gathered rumors. Glassy and her group? You're wrong. She's from here. She wouldn't bother us or other neighbors. She's just one of the lost free folk. Couldn't force herself to come back after the events. That can't be changed now. She's just hunting for treasures in the ruins. Trading. That's where she gets her stuff and coin. Yeah, I got told that she was literally a bandit lord. So, I don't think I need to talk about how hospitable other settlements are. It's clear this guy's just a special group of asshole. A ripe asshole. There we go. That is like one of the weirdest insults I can like hear. Like I don't see many people call people that, but it's a nice one. I feel like it gets the message across. I don't know, I've always said there's like another tier of like insults that aren't a lot like necessarily offensive, but like are like harsh enough that they just fucking like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like cum stain is one that I remember that's like, that's just rude. I don't know why. It's just like there's a special tier of just like this is weirdly offensive but not like, I don't know how to describe it. Not like bad, if that makes sense. Which person service are you looking for? I don't know that. Is there nothing around here? I'll look for someone else. Okay, that's enough for now. You go to, a bunch of kids laugh loudly as they carry buckets of vegetables over the stone bridge, calling someone who may very, very well. A few minutes for them. Look for someone. Let's see. Armorer? The outer armory. There we go. Outer armory is right next to the eastern gate, but you are led behind it, through a fence gate to the training ground. You are introduced to Tatius, a muscular man who's walking in just his pants, displaying his muscular chest and arms, tanned and hairy, and his dusty, dirty feet. Hold up. A muscular man who was walking in just his pants, displaying his muscular chest and arms, tanned and hairy, his dusty, dirty feet. Listen, when they start describing the feet, you know it gets that way. That's how it works. That's the point of this. His teenage pupils. Oh, wait, that doesn't mean his eyes. That means other people. Gathered on the trampled ground, also wear no boots and wear old torn tunics with marks of blood and scratches, both on their clothes and skin. The man is looking through a few toy weapons gathered in a barrel. A wooden sword, a few spears with their tips wrapped in rags, and similar-looking clubs. After your arrival, the man throws a spear to one of the younger kids and tells the others to get to him like mad boars. And soon after, you hear a painful thud and cheerful laughter. He then offers you a vivid red cherries, maybe the last ones this season. He may be just over 30 years old, yet his wide shoulders, unusual height, and straight posture make him make even his kindest words sound like a threat. You need something from me, Roadwarden? I'm looking for better equipment. And you came to the wrong village. We don't sell anything. We've stored it at our armory. We need these things to ourselves. When you mention dragon bones, he looks away to the fighting kids and orders them to divide into 2 teams, letting the assaulted spearmen rest for a bit. And what am I to do with dragons? Buy blades? His chuckle while fake is loud and moves his chest up and down. After you insist that he may want to think if there's nothing for an axe such as yourself to find here. He puffs out his chest, thinking as he exhales. You know what? Come take a look. And you, he looks at the teens. A few minutes of rest. Don't lose don't lose any eyes. You did your nails? Nice. I would like to do my nails one of these days. I don't, as I can show on the model here. I've not had my nails done. That breaks some things when I do this. I've got gloves, so you can't see them, so it's not really a point for me to do my nails, but I'd like to do them at least once. I think it'd be fun to do. You go back to the armory's door, and after a few breaths, the man shows you a kite, so large it could cover half your shell with ease. It's a gift we received, but we don't use such a shape. It's too weird for us. Get big acrylics on your... No! Why would I ever... No! I will not do that. I refuse. You can buy it if you wish. Or maybe you'd like to grab some quarrels, if you're a crossbow. Oh, wait, if you have a crossbow. We have enough of those. Let's discuss the price. A shield. I kind of forgot I have no money. Step away. So there's the armor. Looking for something. Guess nothing else really for him to do here. You go north. But I kind of want to go back here. You're squeezed between the hills and the forest. The only larger beast you spot is a single saurian basking on a boulder, lazily observing you from a safe distance. Your ears catch the howls coming from the north, long and loud, while you look at the lake, hoping there's no threat hiding below the water's surface. The few plants growing next to the road mostly bear fruit. The road is not as reliable here as it was at the eastern bank. Parts of it are a bit muddy, and the puddles disturb your ride. The locals will maintain it before it gets swallowed by the lake. Oh, okay, there's just a lake there, and that's all I got to look at. Oh, never mind. The deep, loud yells of howlers are piercing your ears, concealing any other sound in the area. They're sitting on branches and in the tall grass. I moved closer to the camera, by the way, in case you're wondering. Their thick black and gold furs covered their entire shells. Aside from the charcoal black faces with roundish flat noses and wide nostrils, the younger members of the pack are about the size of your mount's head, but the larger ones would be chest high. If it wasn't for the fact that they walk on all fours, their long tails are like an additional arm, helping them climb, hang from the branches, or hold food while they eat. They aren't practically muscular, but when they form their pink lips into the shape of a cup to release their howls, their mouths are so wide they could fit your entire arm inside. As you listen to the shouts, you're reaching for your head. You feel a weird itch, but somehow you can't touch it. Do they put an itch inside my head? I hope not. I keep my distance. I take a look at the skin behind the boulder. The whitish rawhide covers the grass like a blanket. Surrounded by paw prints, the howlers don't wait for you to approach it. One of the larger ones jumps on the ground, leaning on its hands, and challenging you with his gaze. It has rather blunt teeth. With the rawhide quickly and flee. Howlers. I feel like the point of howlers, like the idea of a fucking monster or animal that is known to howl, is that it doesn't want combat. It's not good at combat, but it can howl people away. So I'm going to try and scare it away. Your yards away from the closest tree. The howlers are climbing, swinging, browsing leaves, and seeking bugs in the meadow. Only a few of them pay attention to you. You could start with an attack from a distance, but there's no way for you to take down an entire pack. The best you can hope for is scaring them off. I cast a few rocks at them. Your pouring makes you hit the trunk, drawing the monkey's attention. They howl even louder, pointing at you, jumping between branches. Your rocks don't hurt that much. They stay still thanks to their tails and cover their face with their hands. The largest ones land on the grass. I move forward. The curious howlers step back. You're not sure why you're not running away. Yeah, so I figured, if they're called howlers, they're not ready to fight. I shout the monkey and swing my arms. At first, you doubt your shout is going to be heard. Once you'd add to it your aggressive gestures, the creatures get quieter, allowing your voice to spread wider. Some of the smaller monkeys cuddle to each other and hide their faces. Those on the ground take the first few steps forward, but they keep looking at each other, as if hoping one will get you to them first. Time for the confrontation. Uh, your head aches as you're getting hit by a smith's hammer, time and time again. You want to touch your stomach to stop its strange movements, as if your guts are shaking and hitting one another. Leap forward, reaching for the. I don't have a potion that can help me here. Oh shit! Right. My axe. You clash one of the creatures. The blunt side of the weapon lands on its arms. You escape the beast's grapple, but the assailant doesn't even yell. You leap away, struggling to keep the distance. Your next hit finally spills some blood, getting to the howler's shoulders, but the others are already surrounding you. Look for a way to escape their approach. Having no shield, you're vulnerable from all sides. I turn towards the next opponent. You look around, then duck. Another creature tries to jump at you from your left. The monkey's determined to get to you. Lead more by their fury than fear. There's no chance that you can face them in a fair fight. I've run as fast as I can. Ah! In the saddle, followed by the angry shouts. Glim is more than ready to flee. Its ears are held back, nostrils wrinkled. You wonder if it suffers from the howls. Oh, okay. So howls actually like fuck you up. We can go this way. Let's see what's over to the right. The road east is beaten and clean, with enough space to fit 2 wagons side by side. You pass by a few plum trees, apple trees, and cherry trees, but many more stumps likely belonging to what has been turned into Foggy Lake. The life in the plains is busy and loud, but so far you don't see any lurking beasts. Judging by the many trampled parts of the meadows and the fresh found food trails, the foragers search the corner of the peninsula quite often. I didn't leave much behind. You reach a shimmering pond at the edge of the forest. You ride beneath 2 trimmed trees growing on the opposite sides of the path, like columns leading to the Right's temple. Shouts and heavy steps prepare your trouble head. Fuck. 2 shells are circling around each other. One of them is a 4-legged saurian with dark gray skin, as long as your palfrey, but only knee high. It's knee high. No, it's wandering left and right along the bank, hissing repeatedly, slicking its split tongue out and then retracting it. The stout monster doesn't look like a born hunter of humans, but its long tail is swinging like a whip. For now, only threatening. But you don't doubt that getting hit by it would likely break your bones. Oh, great. The second one belongs to a brown-skinned man wearing leather pants, a long brown woolen cloak, and the matching pelt of a wolf on his head and shoulders. Like a haunting hood, his voice is both gentle and scared, and he's stretching his hands in front of him, trying to make the beast stay away if it's a mouflon. The third shell is on the right, middle between them, the other 2, a creature you don't recognize from a distance, but it's in a flood of its own blood and isn't moving. I rode slowly, taking a closer look at the situation. I think since we're a fucking scholar, we should probably take this a little slower. You stand up in the saddle to have a better view, then realize that the corpse on the ground is but that of a white ibex. The man who acknowledges your presence with a nod speaks with a hint of playfulness in his voice, asking the saurian to be so nice as to stay away. He then turns towards you and points at the prey. Friend, lend me a hand, will you? I'm trying to seize it. Dismount, the saurian takes a step closer to the pond. How can I help? I don't think your ibex can be helped, kind stranger. I found his weapon. Why? It'd be it'd be easier to catch something by yourself. Just step away. I'm not going to help you die for a scrap of meat. Jesus. I breathe that relief. I thought that beast killed someone. No, I frowned. Why? He shakes his head, and the wolf's loose jaw shakes as well. That was the plan. But when a chance lands just in front of me, how can I look away? You're not too proud, eh? It's not carrion. He adjusts his hat a bit, and then it drops right back. Say, friend, do you have any fruit in those sacks? Throw some at it. He points to the beast. Why would I care about fruits? It has a whole ibex to eat. I think it's accurate. Just trust me, eh? He grumbly whispers. It hunts only when there's nothing better to pick. They live on trees, you know. You look at the saurian's shell, wet from the water in what it was sitting not too long ago. The man notices her gaze. I'm almost sure. There's no way a few apples would work. Maybe a cart of them. I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna like yell at this guy who is like standing in front of a monster who's like, "Don't eat me! Don't eat me! Don't eat me!" He first looks for a moment and expects the wolfhead to follow his lead. Whatever. I sigh and look at my weapon. I'll distract it. You grab the ibex and drag it away. Let's try it. I'm gonna save first, and we'll try it. He scratches his hood and nods with approval. You know what, friend? That's an excellent pattern. Do so. Without another glance, he once again shouts at the beast, then dashes away from you. Followed by his cape, the monster hisses and reaches forward, as if waiting to see what are you going to do. You step forward, hoping to draw the monster's attention as far away from the carcass as possible. He answers your challenge and shortens the distance even further. I'm trying to look big and scared away. I think so far, my plan of just be bigger than all the monsters isn't working. Because We're a scholar. I focus on avoiding his attacks. Hmm. What are our skills again? We have knowledge and alchemy. What are two things that can't be used here? Knowledge and alchemy. Shit. Hmm. I think. I don't think we're particularly dexterous, but we're not really strong either. I think maybe this one would be good. Well, then we're just gonna hang on. If I do that, we're just gonna be in the exact same spot as the guy we're trying to save. So I'm gonna try and wound it. You reach for my axe. You lunge in and surprise Saurian with your speed. It tries to turn around, but not before you cut its back with your axe. You even try to step on it, but to no avail. Hissing in pain, it simply gets up and flees into the water. Here's disappearing beneath the surface and leaving a trail of blood behind. Ah, dumb beast, you hear? The thief is already next to the ibex. You wait for a bit, observing how the beast swims with ease, though it's heading to the opposite side of the pond. Instead of staying in it. That was risky, the man chatters. You sure have a blade better than my garbage here. He shows you his club, a nicely shaped plank embedded with blades of black, glass like obsidian. It looks more sharp than to you. Wait, it looks more than sharp to you. Maybe I still wouldn't like to be hit by it. It's about technique and confidence, you know? I think it's accurate. Yeah, probably. I'm lucky you were around, friend. Jesus, I'm getting hiccups. He smiles, not looking at you. You tell Glim to run ahead, but the two of you carry the carcass, leaving the trail of blood behind you. That's a great idea. They're only slightly uphill. You pass the pond, approach the woods, and even from a distance, seeing a distinct trail leading between the trees. Not a guard in this forest, the man speaks briefly, gasping for the burden, but not too dark. And cats are but a few. Cats are but a few. Boars are there, though, and gargoyles. Better not go too deep. There are no roads there. His face is not much older than 20. Shaved with great care, cleaner even than among them was city folk. While his hood is heavy, cloak masks his figure. He seems well fed and healthy. We're halfway there, friend. Creeks is a gorgeous place, you know. You'll love it. I forgot everything about Creeks. Do I have in the archive Creeks? No. Journal. Places. Marshes, Pagos, Hallerdan. Oh, there's a glossary. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, this is really nice. I like that. Creeks? No. Okay, we haven't talked. Yeah, we know nothing about creeks. I think we've mentioned it before, but I don't remember it at all. So, fuck it. Guess we're going this way. We'll see. Don't ruin the surprise. Carrying the ibex takes a while, but the man is incapable of being silent. Every unusual tree seems to be tied to a story from his life, and he makes sure that you notice the first stream you cross on a new solid bridge. One of many creeks, you see, he says with untamed amusement. A thin gorge leads between you and the mountains. The place is quite susceptible to bandits. Truly feels like the end of the realm. Oh, there's a watchtower. Oh, that'd be good. You follow the trail of shouts and laughter. 7 people about 20 years old each are gathering at the wooden bridge, leaning against the rails, bathing in the stream, lying on the grass. Pieces of clothing made of fur and leather are spread around next to cudgels and throwing clubs. Once the sound of hooves manages to break through the clattering, the curious young eyes, untouched by war time, torrent towards you, and an excited whisper spreads. The shells are proudly displayed, and the confident smiles are both inviting and challenging. How's winter? The hunter greets his tribesfolk while stepping on the logs. Gentle and warm, says a man resting on his friend's shoulder. That's a nice ibex. There are paths leading in many directions, but the main road will take you uphill. Awkward as I walk past the naked people, I look at the watchtower. There's no reason to be embarrassed. I look at them. Yes. I am looking unrespectfully. Light dances on wet hair, both in their heads and crotch. I don't know what I was expecting. I'll be honest. I'm not entirely sure. Was not expecting the 11th word in that line to be crotches, luring your eyes just as much as the revealed chests and muscular arms. You've interrupted not just their bath. The soul who's speaking with your guide is embracing another man as he's sitting behind him, while one of the women is keeping her arm around the waist of yet another man. You hardly see any wounds or marks caused by sickness. The harshest days of this group are still ahead. As you move your eyes from one person to another, they greet you with smiles and nods, and the ones you walk by on the bridge shift their stances, allowing you to see even more. Okay. Once you step up the logs, the hunter chuckles. Seeking warmth, eh? The youth here think about wooing the travelers and beasts, but that's good. But that's good. Means they're healthy. They're vain as birds, though. You won't find much to talk about with them. As you look behind, you're not so sure he's right. I nod the group and follow them in. The palisades is as tall as trees, but being placed on top of the crags makes it look impassable. What? Why is the gate closed? The hunter turns to the watchtower and repeats his question. Only louder. Maybe call Ella. Too blind to see he has guests, eh? A hardly visible guard with a female voice leans from the tower. He's coming, Howler, relax! Her shouts hint of no patience towards him. The youth dine in the woods after the bath. Why wouldn't we close? The man glances at you. Who's Isla? Just me, brother. He gestures for you to ignore it. And I'm Ephraim. So thanks to our parents. Kelix keeps mistaking our names, but Atlas has a stick in his ass, and it's as boring and nagging as a legless donkey. The snow from the tower hides again, and the gate opens. We enter the village. The sparse clumps of grass survive only at the edges of the spacious yard. The few onlookers wear working clothes suitable for their hard labor. They're carrying tools, planks, and logs. You're next to a large building of unusual shape, either a temple or a house of gathering. It makes you think of a cabin that's been getting larger over the course of the years, with a section of the middle being darker and more crude than the other ones. Oh, okay, that makes sense. They've been building on it for years. Yeah, that's usually normal, I think, for cabins like this. It's a Minecraft house. No. A slightly overweight man is standing in front of the building with open arms. Welcome the Creeks, friends. His voice and eyes are gentle, but there's vigor in his stance and gestures. Ephraim was meant to hunt, but I see he brought not one, but two unusual creatures. The hunter rolls his eyes. Don't embarrass us with this prattle. He raises his voice and fills it with bitterness, addressing no soul in particular. And maybe he's asked someone to help us with the Abex. It's our shared catch. He points at you. I want to know whom we are grateful. Ela nods towards you. While I introduce myself, I observe more closely. Being close to 30 years old, he's one of the older souls around. Just like the other villagers, he has clothes made out of animals, not plants. The leather pants and jacket are humble, but the shoulder cape reaching from his neck to elbows used to belong to a yellow elk. His brown skin is darker than that of a farmer, and as you look at the outreached hands, they carry the marks of being cut by tools. And I'm Isla, the carpenter. He takes a step forward towards the fruit trees and invites you to move forward. Like most men in the village, he's clearly shaven. How about I show you the rest of the village? Maybe humble, but it's as beautiful as a blue starling. That's a bird, right? Thanks, Isla. That sounds lovely. Or I've had an opportunity to see some of your... No. Sure. That's boring. I wasted enough time. Can we talk about them instead? I'll just be like, thanks, sound lovely. These guys seem cool so far. They're cool, naked strangers. The best kind of... Not the best. Well... Depends the context. I'm gonna leave that one there for you to decide. As he grins, you notice his unusually white teeth. He moves with heavy but enthusiastic steps. They must be like really good hunters or like weirdly rich. Because they said one of them was clean shaven. They at least take care of themselves the most. So maybe if he's got white teeth and the other guy's shaven, maybe I can get a bath here. Let's see. He moves with heavy but enthusiastic steps. It won't really take that long, but we have quite a view. Oh shit, I just realized I can't see the time on OBS. There we go. I swear, interrupts the hunter. I'm not carrying this ibex to the kitchen. Someone call the cooks. After dropping the carcass on the ground, he springs away, fretting out the blood on his hands. Let's take this stroll then, Ilas. Says Isla as he leads you forward. Your mount can drink at the creek here. Come, Glim. You tether your mount to a tree, next to drying laundry. Isla points at the village behind the bridge proudly. Our newest addition to the village. The hunters grow old, so we are taking steps away from meats and fruits. Spot only 2 people working in the field. Or rather a large garden covered with cabbages, carrots, onions, and garlic. Oh, that sounds nice. Indistinguishable from the wild plants growing in the woods. On the path between the two halves of the field, an elderly woman is sitting on a stool, looking in your direction as if you're interrupting her contemplation. Well, old Hava. There will turn this place into a proper farm. One day she has little strength, but keeps precious memories of her trade. You lack proper seeds. I speak quietly. She seems austere. What does that mean? I don't know what to say it. Herman starts holding his laughter. Just be Evan, you haven't grown under her. I'm lucky to have my ears after all the pulling and pinching. Don't overcolor her. She cares a lot. Ela invites you, with a gesture, to follow him deeper into the village. At least about the quiet children. Just let her do the talking. The fewer things you say, the fewer reasons for her to get upset. Yeah, I know the type. The bonfire spot is surrounded by logs, and we're cutting tables and stools. Ayla, Ayla or Ayla? I'm gonna say Ayla. Approaches the nearest chair, rubbing its back with his cut hands. When we share a meal, we'll do it here, sometimes beneath the stars. You have to see it. The flames dance on the walls, the monster roars and crickets. Ephraim's voice also grows enthusiasm. Dining at the edge of the forest is something you wouldn't forget, unless you can drink. Don't swallow anything stronger than spoiled ibex milk. The shadow's friend, terrifying. Or the shadow's friend, terrifying. Against all the wooden buildings. While the walls seem very fine, the roofs are primitive, mostly made of planks that are already soggy and bent. There are a few people working on cleaning bark from a log, but the square is mostly quiet, with a few kids observing you from above their toys. Burning some fires makes a lot of wood. I want to say that because I'm assuming that's why all their roofs are fucked. It's not something we need to worry about, and it shows you to look around. We mostly burn what's left after saving construction, gathering fuel for a dozen days. Some of us think we can learn woodworking all by themselves, Ephraim says mockingly. So we waste a lot of wood. At least we can roast meat on the long sticks as we sit here. Nah, we already have the results. The carpenter moves his hand from the chair to his stomach. Everything you see here, friend, was built by us and our elders. How about I show you our old forest? Is it far away? You find the answer right away. You stand between two of the houses in front of the gate in the animal pen. The walls are made of sharpened trunks and are as tall as two humans. The captured beasts are tethered by ropes, but have enough freedom to wander and graze. Two brown boars, a black mouflon, and the runner you recently captured with the foragers. And here, And here are our captives. Ephraim declares proudly. I know it's still a bit empty, but we'll crowd it a bit before winter. Are there really enough to keep them here? Can't they just shoot right through them? Both men look at the animals with a renowned curiosity. Well, to start, if they can free themselves from a hemp rope and then squeeze through the stakes, and while no soul sees them and then gets to the gate freedom again, I'd say they deserve to do so. Hila leans against the gate and points to the area behind the palisade. The mufflon may disappear, but the boars would be stuck on the plateau. Have you noticed the old forest, friend? I look north. The vast clearing is returning to life, with shrubs spread between the paths and tree stumps. You move to the bridge, then to a gate, to a gateway, and have a chance to look around. We can see the edge of our world from the watchtower, Ayla narrates sublimely. In the long distance, the plateau ends, surrounded by cliffs. Yet either climb up the mountains or fall to your death. Both men tell you about the difficult paths of the village. Desperate camp, then a cabin, then two shifting its wooden walls as more and more trees were cut. Without tree crowns, we can walk with no shadows. Beast dens, gargle eyes, concludes the carpenter. It is really better than a forest garden. It would produce much more food, and now I only see berries. I'm surprised that the warmth of the herds hasn't smitten you yet. These 0.6 won't stop a unicorn. I think I want this one. At the heart of our worries, friend, Ayla admits and is interrupted by the hunter quickly. We did what we had to do to push away the beasts. They didn't feel safe here and don't seek food on the shrubs as they would trees. Ayla tells you there's one more thing to see, and as you walk away, he returns to the matter at hand. The animals keep their distance now, at least in the meadows, so hunting them gets difficult, and meat with hardly any mushrooms and herbs gets bland. A forest garden would solve the problem, sure, but we don't know enough to start one. Hence a field of berries. He taps his stomach. First, we need to learn how to feed our children. We lack strength and skill. Ephraim looks at you, but we have time. I nod. With time comes opportunity. I frown. We never have as much time as we want. I'm going to be optimistic. We're a little optimistic here. Somewhat. Unless it's game announcements. Then, I don't know. I'm going to save all talk about, about directs and shit. Because I did a whole tweet-a-thon as the Nintendo Direct was happening. So if you want to see those thoughts or as they went live, you can check out my Twitter. But about the Sony one, I didn't really watch it. I kind of listened to it. So after the stream, I'm going to watch a little bit of it. And then, yeah, that'll be it. And then I can talk about it tomorrow on stream if you really want me to. But you reach the edge of the village, a cliff as tall as the wall. Beneath you, two creeks meet each other and form a gentle river. These are the trees we used to learn more about woodworking. Ayla's smiling as he leans his back against the wall of a house. We've got new ones, but we'll soon have to bring wood from further away. Give the saplings a few years, or however long they grow. A decade? And this is where I leave the two of you, with your boring tree talks. Ephraim points at you. See me later if you need. I'll be around. I rarely hunt alone. The carpenter watches his departing companion with genial eyes. Well, there's work to be done. A new chair awaits me. He leads you to a humble. He leads you to a humble working station placed at the edge of the square. The tools you notice are very simple, if not primitive. We don't have to talk about my trade, Sick. What brings you up here? Um, is Asteroid around? He halts his work and looks at you with an exaggerated frown. That's a weird question. You're the first road warden I've seen in the well, this season. I think. Did you check the western villages? You'll get to Hallersden simply staying on the road. His right hand, still holding a tool, is now squeezing his stomach gently. I've heard about the bandits. Have they caused you any trouble? He makes an awkward cut with a chisel and lets out a quiet shit, and then starts to roll the plank with a thumb. Bandits, you say. Soldiers from the city have already taken care of him. This village isn't much older than you are. What's its story? He proudly raises a carving knife and gestures for you to look around. It may be a young village, but there's a lot to say. While the story is names, relationships, a step-by-step description of the growth of the settlement and bothersome creatures, you get the gist of it. The settlers arrived here 25 years ago, soon after one of the 10 cities had fallen to the southern invasion. Most of them came from the capital. While some joined them along the way, they soon came to realize that none of the villagers had enough space or the will to host a few dozen refugees. The folks of Gale Rocks used to have a much kinder attitude towards strangers than they do now, and they offered the newcomers to stay at the beach behind the village. Yet there was nothing for them to eat other than what they'd caught in salt waters. They soon started their search for a land remote enough to not compete with the locals, and with the help of kind folks from Gale Rocks, White Marshes, and Old Pagos and others, as Ella states vaguely, they received enough wood and tools to turn a scrap of the plateau into a clearing, then a camp, then a hamlet, and finally, ta-da, a village. I try to pay attention. I try. The tale is assisted by walking out of the village, introducing you to some of the original settlers or their offspring, and showing you some of the treasures displayed in the houses of gatherings. A unicorn's horn found at the heart of the woods, a blue rock that's shaped and hollowed like an egg, and it's darker inside. An arrow that hit a fright up in an eye and knocked it down. Behind each of them are names, stories, and memories. At the very end, I leads you back to his workbench, holding a hand on his conspicuous stomach. To give his throat some rest, he turns towards Dominic around. And one of the folks in Hollivan like Foggy. Foggy says there are thousands of souls at the capital, and one can go their entire life still finding new faces in the crowd. Oh shit. Maybe so. My city feels lonely. There are many people around, but with all of them so busy with their duties to share their lives, people spend their time with their families and close friends, especially ones they work with. They're close to each other, but no soul knows what happens behind doors in the evenings. The streets feel empty. I feel like it's most accurate. And it's hard to get to know people when everyone's so busy, but kids spend a lot of time together and building long times of relationships. One can easily find groups to hang out with. People shop together, work, take baths, pray, and what else like to do in the evening? They just go outside and seek company. It's not easy to build a strong friendship, though. Hard to say. The merchants are getting richer. The priests have their games. Craft guilds decide who goes in and out, and the workers have to compete. There are no monsters in the streets, at least not every day, but there's a distrust in many souls. It's either this one or this one. I think this one. I'll try and keep it light, because right now we're trying to, so this is a settlement that we might try and hook up with Haviland. So if we can keep it, like this. Maybe this. I want to do this. I think it makes the most sense out of that. On that last part, it's unsimilar to our way of living. Folks stay inside only to sleep or shag. And even that's not a rule. He adjusts his shoulder cloak and smiles. But we also form bonds. One big family and all. What do you think about Ephron? He gives a surprised look. I care for him deeply. He's brave and has a big heart. Both our paths are rough. I don't think you need to hear about them. He doesn't trust me enough to tell me he's his brother. You have any work for a Roadwarden? But of course! He stands up with a bright smile, walks away, and leaps over one of the long-made tables and looks for something in the pile of wood. In this part of the land, there's always going to be something for a road warden. He straightens up with a piece of charred wood in his hands and gets back to you. As he draws black lines to the workbench, he mentions a few names: creeks, Foggies, Gale Rocks there. Here's the lake. The map is simplistic and doesn't align with your own understanding of local distances, but you follow the descriptions without issues. The bathroom at the south is getting too wild for us. He repines, making another few strokes. The merchants travel through the other route, through Hallersden, passing by Old Pagos and White Marshes. Once they reach Foggy, they already have full stomachs and many deals close. And when they travel back, they visit the same place again. Folks already know that trading here takes a long time. So I'm going to give them an option to get to you first and move west without backtracking, and do so all by myself. How exactly? Well, I'm sure you can find some help. He pats his stomach without noticing that he leaves a few black dots on his leather jacket. There are a few things you could do. Follow the eastern road and see if it's clear. Are there any safe shelters there? Any blockades to get rid of? Is there any overgrown paths to burn? Maybe see if the road from here is to the western crossroads is safe, or if the carts could get through the heart of the woods. If you're brave enough, I hope you're a soul with sage judgment. Seeing your puzzled look, he rests his palms on the table with a shy smile. I know I'm vague, but I bet you already know more about these roads than I do, friend. His eyes return to the map, and after a few moments of hesitation, he rubs an uneven line in his belly. How can you know if I'll be honest with you? No. Wouldn't it be better for you to put work into the western road and you can split the labor with other settlements? They can't be trusted, especially some of them. He crosses the western side of the map with a long, thin line. Even a paved route would force merchants to add a day or pointless travel to their plans. And that's a big loss for their trade. Having our path cleared gives everyone more options and more convenience. I think I agree with that, yeah. You forgot to mention my pay. That depends on what you're about to do, eh? The tribe has but a few dragons. To confirm his words, he enters the nearby house, from which he picks up an old wooden case, crude in shape and with an unsightly engraving of a three-headed hydra on its lid. Inside it, you can see maybe 24 dragon bones. Let's say you'll get a dragon for any news about cleared or blockade areas, and more if it takes you any real effort. So you want me to act first to pick up my reward later? After, you're playing with my patience. I do need money right now. I kind of want to say that. Are you? Not paid by the rich folks from Haviland? His voice once again gets apologetic. I believe what I'm asking for you is your very job. I try to motivate you to do it well, Roadwarden. I'm not your master. You'll do as you please. Ah, he kind of got me on that one, though. Fuck. He did kind of get me on that one. Shit. He knows... people know too much about Roadwardens. I wish there was, like, The Witcher, where I could just... or, like, you could just, like, lie. I'm pretty sure... What is it? Because I think that's like something. I think it's like 1 or 2 bits in The Witcher where you can just like lie about your abilities. I'm sure we can do this here somewhere. I don't like the way you handle payment, but fine. Where would you like me to start? Go to the shelters. Set just at the side of the road. There's a ruined campsite west of Foggy's. He makes a small circle on the map, or you could go south to a cabin or eldest built. He makes a larger square. It's halfway from here to the river. Take a look around. See what's their condition. If there are any beasts around. You can handle a few small creatures, can't you? How? And then you show me to take care of them? Anything I find? He laughs, but not with his eyes. Forgive me, friend, but you don't sound like someone who has much experience behind them. You're nothing like Astron. He took pride in his self-reliance. Don't like how you handle payment, but fine. Let's go sigh of relief and squeeze his stomach. You almost had me worried there, friend. He then throws away the charred woods, returned to his stool, and looks for tools. I took a look at the dial. Oh, I looked at those. Perfect. I took a look at the dialment. It sounds safe. He keeps sculpting the woods and asks you about the size and the entrance of the chapel. I've heard it's small, but not that small. Not enough for a group, but maybe a lone traveler. With that amount, he looks at you with a smile. Pick a dragon bone from the case, will you? I don't want to stop you now. I'm glad I looked at that shit now. Fuck. I grab a coin. Looking. Nah, he'll know. Oh, you're gonna try and grab more? I grab a coin. Yay. Let's start. Keep it up. I encountered a fallen tree in the south. Describe the exact location. I guess it was unavoidable for this to happen. At one point or another, too bad. It's so far away from here. He stops his work and turns towards you. Say, would you like to help us with that, friend? You ask him what he proposes, and he describes what he calls a day of honest work. He'd just come to me someday in the early hours. I still need to discuss with the tribe, but I'll ask the stronger folks to travel with you to the tree. They'll agree if they feel like the roads can be trusted. Split it into blocks. Get it on the wagons, bring it here. It won't go to waste, and the road will be cleared. When you mention it, it's going to take an entire day, he agrees. And you'll get 5 dragon bones for it. That's worth it. Just come to me when you're healthy, and only if you already know what's on the route from here to that point. We'll put a lot of trust into your guidance and protection, Sick. So you want me to get to know the entire route, make sure it's safe enough for your tribe to handle it, and come here in the morning. But only if I can handle the journey. Quite a list, but fine, we'll see. Sure, I'll do that. 5 things is good. Hey, he thinks about your words, then reaches for his case. You're right, that's a lot. I can't help you much, but at least you deserve 1 bone right away for bringing me the message. Maybe buy some rations for it, or good rest, actually. We also need at least 1 day to prepare ourselves. Thanks. I'll let you know if there's anything else. What about those bandits, Ella? Looks you forbid it. Those are not some strangers, but folks in the north. Our neighbors. One of them is from our very own tribe, but they don't target us. Just strangers. You ask him again if he's sure no one from the village has been targeted so far, and after a cord eye, he reaches for a carving knife. Okay. I'll see you later. We can talk to the farmer, but let's see. Let's approach the shallow creek. The calming sounds of the waterfall around you. You observe the creek, as clean as a spring. The oak ash soap you own is not enough to help you get cleaner. Fuck. I jump into the stream. No fish, plants to bother, and your feet find mud among the always not always smooth pebbles. And the water reaches above your waist. I can have some fun and wash every spot of your shell. Thanks to the gentle flow, you're able to remove the mud stains from your clothes and boots. Yay! See, boom, there we go. We are slightly cleaner. All right, let's travel. So he says he wants us to go to the east. Can't go east. Oh, no, I guess we came from the east. Yeah, there's the abandoned watchtower. Oh, there was that bit. So, I guess he can't go east. Yeah, so we'll have to come back later for the Where's the tree? It's there. We have to come back for the fallen tree, and that'll figure that out. I guess we could go north. Actually, let's see. Oh, we can go buy that. We can buy that shield now. I think. Let's go to the shield, because I think that's going to be important, especially if we don't have it. If we have an axe, armor, look for new equipment. Okay, so we have. Okay, no, that's a little bit too much money actually. Once we get the tree down, we can do that. I'm looking for someone. Let's see. Bath house. Let's see if that's there. You don't find them, or I can't understand you. I'm looking for someone else. Bath house. Bath. The steep banks are damp, so you head upstream to the wooden bridge, but you can hardly reach any water with your fingers there. You consider getting undressed, but a sudden voice behind you tells you to quit it. The current is strong that it'll catch you, and BAM! The man swings his arm. You crack your skull against the rocks. He points downstream. He's a large person with heavy boots that are dirty from mud, and a necklace made of a colorful shell as large as your hand. He approaches you holding a few empty buckets, each one attached to a rope. He places them on the logs and crouches down, filling the buckets one by one. I ask him about washing himself at the well. He frowns. What are you, a child? What's your name? After you introduce yourself, he gives you a gentle nod. Ah! And I'm Aqualia. We bathe in tubs, right? I have a warm water in the shed. He directs you at the eyes of the boulder next to the path. Though it is in no way resembles sheds that one would find in the city, he straightens up and carries the buckets up to the bank, one by one. Either help me carry water around the village for a few hours, or pay me if you're lazy enough. I'll make you a fine bath and wash with tongs. I would like a better bath. He placed the last bucket next to your, next to the boat, and you notice that another man is already taking one of them to the eastern gate. I could sell you a bottle of perfumes. That won't be of much use if you have no soap. He grins with his yellow teeth, as if there's a punchline in his words. Pick flowers of roses, violets, lavender, cherry. Good for hair, ears, and wrists. Just don't drink it. I'll step away for now. But good to know there is the Batman. Aquila, the Batman. Let's see. What time is it? 4 hours till dusk. This is a bad question, so I'm not going to ask it. I'm just going to look it up. You can probably guess what it is. Okay, it's right before nightfall is what dusk is. Okay, I wasn't sure, honestly. I generally didn't know. I assumed it was. Let's see. Inn. This seems like it'd probably be the safest one we found. Search for an inn is futile, and the locals are quite proud that they have no place to waste their days with mugs and dice. They explain that if any caravan needs to stay the night, there's always enough space to empty one of the caves. If you need a room to spend the night, you're told whoever might have someone. Okay. So we can do that's enough for now. So we can talk to wait, what was it? Inn. I want to see what that was. Fulvia. Following instructions, you reach the building with an entrance from the garden side. You step to the door leading into the mouth of the cave and call the person you were told to speak with. Fulvia, the roomkeeper. She comes to you with a half-dark corridor. It fits the description you heard. Slightly round, partially because of the tunic and the heavy pants hidden beneath the dark green robe. She looks like an eccentric city priest. With the massive hourglass made of beautifully polished driftwood she wears and the kerchief covering her neck and hair. One feature that hasn't been mentioned by locals are her eyes, gray, asymmetrical, partially closed and unfocused. Once she gets closer, she turns her head, gazing into the rock and pointing her left ear at you. Her steps are confident, and her hands keep touching the wall on both sides. She's old, wrinkled, and pale, but her voice remains strong. Your first instinct is a nod, only then realizing it won't really help you much. She repeats, "You smell of a horse. Room?" "Yes." Right. She simply walks on the corridor between the few humbled chambers, some of which are inhabited by sleeping souls. After just a few steps, the light coming from the entrance helps you know more. You follow the sound of boots and the smell of rosemary perfume, and suddenly hear a rock hitting something made of metal. The lit candle makes you sigh with relief. What color? After a quiet moment, she tries to ask. The horse coat. What? What does that mean? Is that like a blanket? Or wait, what color is our horse? Hold up. I don't know now. Inventory. Nothing. Let's just say it has white and black stripes. For the barbarians, use this word with a type of irritation that's rare among the post-war generation. I doubt it'll avoid the beast for long, standing out so much. The room is far from comforting. The ceiling is only a head above you. The walls are rounded and bare of any decorations. The only chest looks more like a crude crate. At least the dried grasses covering the sleeping pallets are bug-free and smell of freshness. You don't have to share it, she says with amusement. How much is this delight? She chuckles. She turned to you with her profile. Don't worry, you won't be cold. And we don't let mold in here. I have a nose for it. She demonstrates with a loud sniff. You can work for the village for merely a few hours in the morning. Move some weights around, or you can pay me 2 coins. I won't take less, for I need none at all. I'll just throw it to Severna's chest in a few days. Okay, it's not nighttime yet, so we don't need his sleep, but it is getting close. We still have a few more hours to travel. Let's go north and see what's north, because I think they were saying there's a big settlement north. It seems like this is a pretty cheap place to stay, though. Ooh, I got an achievement. The coast. The roars of the sea reach you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's a lot of words. Fuck. What time is it? 1:17. Okay, maybe we'll end after this page. The roars of the sea reach you first, and the cold wind the light. There are hardly any shrubs nearby, and as you ride downhill towards the white and gold beach, the sunbeams hit you with full force. The sea here is not like the ones from the Hall of Alan's port. The harbor and waters most people see during their busy days are full of life. Ships, warehouses, traders, dockers, and of course, there's Sickle, the barrier island that provides the city with its lagoon, but also serves as home to dozens of species of birds, monkeys, and rodents. Most people, the sea is never silent. But if one travels to Sickle and looks west or embarks on a boat and sails away, there's yet another view, a very different one, the never-ending blue, the emptiness, the humming waves, the monsters swimming to the surface just to take a breath, not even interested in the wooden vessels. Many say that if one jumps from off a ship with a heavy stone, they will drown before they touch the seabed. Here, however, the water can't be separated from the rocks that cut through it, like a swarm of mushrooms in a dark forest. Their shapes and sizes are varied, but it's their number that makes them unusual. If you were to name each one, you'd have to make up at least half of the names. There's no doubt where the name of Gale's Rock came from. The stones piercing the surface of the water are shaped like beast fangs, as if they're asking the ships to dare and test their strength. Where possible, I keep to the greater parts of the beach. Sand is awful for the hooves. You follow the sharp turns to the right. The road remains broad enough for the carts and wagons, avoid the sands. Letting Glim to trot without disturbances, the grasses to the east and south are short, and hardly any shrubs have managed to oppose the harsh winds. The human activity you witness is intense. A large barge is resting on the river, immobilized by the ropes and wooden posts, and you see people foraging on the beach and on the grasses. Even more people, most of them without wrinkles, are gathered at the pier, where they clean and fix their boats and nets, and talk about their plans for the evening. You reach the end of the beaten path, and getting to the stone-made pier just next to the small dolmen-shaped shed. Only the door seems to be fairly new, and you don't doubt that both the structures have been repaired many times in the past, crumbling under the touch of the waves. I head to the fishers. I want to talk to them. Just say hi. You approach a group of workers standing in front of the shed. Photios is here, one of them tells you, and points to the tallest man dressed in an undyed woolen linen. He's discussing something with a group of workers, but as you head in the direction, he nods for you to join him on his side. His outfit is heavy, appropriately for someone who spends long hours under the hits of the cold onshore winds. The massive leather boots, thick tunic and pants, and the heavy cloak now held under his arms makes you wonder if he'd even be able to swim. Like most sea folk, he has long limbs, almost no facial hair, and ears so flat they are hardly noticeable. His neck draws your eyes. It's covered with marks left by the burning suckers of a sea monster, as wide as your finger is long. Below these scars, he's wearing a pendant made of a fist-sized black beak. He speaks first, with the strong and confident voice of a young man, no older than 25. We don't really sell any catch on our own. Maybe ask our smokers the cook. That's fine. I was hoping to speak with you. And who are you exactly? After you introduce yourself, the man raises a corner of his mouth in an angry grimace. I won't have much to tell. I wanted to tell much to you, Roadwarden. Like my neighbors, he looks at the nearby fisher. I shook with daily living. I do not adventures. And even less so outsiders' schemes. Do you have any work for me? Work? What do you know about fishing? You mentioned the docks of Havilan, but after a few questions about fishing nets and boats and winds, it's clear you do not impress in this conversation. Just like, I know fishing. What is a fish? Uh, it's that thing in the water, right? You do not know fishing. Just teaching one how to work with us takes time, effort, and rescuing those who fall overboard. You ain't a kid of ours, so if anything, it should be you who pays us for sharing what our forebears have mastered. You explain that you can fight better than most, and that gives him an idea. Our guards stay at the village, so we always move in groups and waste time securing the beach from harpies and saurians. We do. We could put 3 more souls in the boat and keep you on the beach. Guard those not fishing with nets. What's in it for me? How much do you want, stranger? He responds carefully, and you spend a few minutes discussing details. Right. You get a meal and 2 coins for a peaceful day. And another one for putting your life at risk, he summarizes. But you must be at the beach soon after dusk. Or we're prepping our boats and have enough strength to convince me, you'll be more of a help than bother. Are you sure you don't need help with something that would fit my skills? I spent hours on the road. It gives you long. You know what, outsider? There's something you could do for me. You can't really ruin it by trying. I need to help my daughter, Phoebe. Seeing you look, he raises his hands. Don't worry, she's fine. Merely spellless. For generations, my family used Mona to lure fish and hold our breaths, but no matter how much she practices, she can't cast even the tiniest spell. There's something wrong with her soul. He pauses, and his voice grows pain. She's my only child, and I seek no new wife. I want her to have the choices to do whatever she wants, and it breaks me to think she won't have a way to follow my footsteps. I don't really know how I can help you. His eyes are absent. A few years ago, our traders were at the home of a weird enchantress by the eastern road. I don't know her name. She lives close to the old watchtower. You can't miss it. If she's alive, she may still have these weird rocks. Spirit rocks, I think. They help weaken mages. Buy one, bring it here. Maybe eating some pneumonia will help Phoebe learn. What does your daughter think about all this? What does she think? He looks at you as if you're mad, then glances at the nearby fishers. She'd be heartbroken to realize she's spellless. I won't tell her unless I have no other way. She's merely a child. I'm doing what's best for her. This sounds like a very unusual healing time. Are you sure you want to try this? I asked our sorcerers about what they felt, and they used the stones. The pneumonia got stronger than on most days, and nothing bad happened to them. He risks nothing, outsider, he says, with growing irritation and stops himself from scratching the scars on his neck. You forgot to mention my payment. I'm not a drifter. I don't hoard any savings. We gather everything in the keep, we do. A spirit rock should cost about 10 coins? Since it's quite a journey from here, I'm ready to pay almost everything I've got. 15. Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Fuck yeah. Gwenky told me this enchantress. I've only seen her a few times when I was a teenager, though she was also young, I suppose. Tall. Not as tall as I am, he smiles briefly, with cold eyes. For the few days she was around, she kept to herself. People say she's a witch, and a mad one at that. Have you asked an herbalist, though? Maybe a priest or another chanter? Have you heard about the previous Roadwarden? Asked Darian. You nod. In spring, I sent him to one of the greatest mages of the peninsula, some druid, I think. And that old prick told me there was nothing he could do. You hear that? And I had paid the messenger to learn this. He squeezes the cloak even tighter to his side. We have no herbalists here, but since the spirit rocks are safe, I'd rather spend my last coin for such a chance than try nothing and regret it. I think what you're asking for me... no, fuck it. That's easy. Just go buy some shit. I'll say when a spirit rock. Perfect. See you later. You lead them back to the road. Let's see the knowledge. I spent time looking through the piece of driftwood. They could be useful as an alchemy table. Fuck yeah! You stay close to your mountain, observing the sort of rocks, dead plants, animal remains that are coating the sand. Pieces of wood are the forgotten stories of foreign lands and sunk ships, and are gathered in short stacks. You approach the largest pile and push all the sticks, burrows, and branches aside, sparking displeased shouts of worms, crabs, and other beings that used to live among them. Doom, doom, no, I'm not making that joke. You find the pieces you were looking for, which is unlike the others. Not too thick, not too long, with a few little chunks of wood coming out of only one end, like a bunch of fingers. You nod with approval. reciting in your head a part of the withering dust recipe. Fuel with an ocean wood in the shape of a flower. Can I make shit now or something? Alchemy. I guess I have some bits of wood for something. I don't know. Miscellaneous simple arrow. Why do I have that? Oh, right. I think I found that. Got a fresh healing potion. Got some writing instruments. Travel set. Ingredients. Still have that rope. Let's see. Travel. We can't go any farther north. We could go left. There's the creeks. Travel time 3 hours. How much more time? 3 hours. I feel like they might. They will. I mean, this place will definitely let me stay there for free, and it'll be cheaper. Not the old tunnel. The rocks, and it's only 15 minutes. Thinking about it, that's probably the best bet. I didn't realize. So this is like basically like the whole map. I didn't even realize that. But it's actually kind of nice. I like it. Gale Rocks. Let's go there. I'm sure this might be some more areas we can go to later, but this seems like the starter area at the very least. Let's see. Workers are now resting, prepare themselves for the arrival of the fishers, while the younger locals still have had to move wares and tools between the buildings. Wherever there's a table or a bench, there are people feasting on roasted fish and fresh fruits, and the smell of herbs burn your nostrils. The youngsters are focused on their play, overseen by the elders, but even they seem to have a little energy left. Laziness covers everyone like a fresh blanket. The locals avoid your eyes, yet you could swear you are watched wherever you go. Let's see if we can find the mayor. I think we wanted to talk to the mayor, right? I don't know if it was this place. Mayor. A young basket weaver with legs too short and thin for her to stand on, scoffs at your question. You don't even know her name, or that we call her head woman. Like all them outsiders, you know nothing of our customs, yet think you can bother us. Before you respond, she looks at the white building on the hill. She's in the keep, scat. You head to the western bank and walk past the big kitchen. The steep path leads through an open, unguarded gate. As you look around the yard, you notice a few pigeons running around, keenly observed by a pet griffin tied to a wood beam. Some drying underwear hanging from a rope, a spiked flail leaning against the wall carelessly, and a knocked-over bucket lying in a puddle of water. Can we take the flail? The place will be messy, but it's not impaired in its function. Preparing it for defenses wouldn't take longer than a few minutes, and judging by the wall walk of the bailey, it could stand an attack from a large squad of soldiers. The current state of the place makes you think of Havlavon, whose stronghold yards or temple walls are often surrounded by small peddlers, a few of which are even allowed to set up their stalls. As long as they don't hinder anyone else's task, they are allowed to pursue the scarce scraps of open space. Yeah, look at the keep. The bright walls stand out from the other structures in the village, and as far as you can tell, the current layer of whitewash is still fresh. There must be at least three floors inside, enough space to contain more than 100 people. Though without much between them, there are a few air slits in the walls, and the roof is surrounded by a fence-like barrier, a perfect spot for boulder throwers and archers. The large entrance door is ajar, with a wrinkled man sitting on a pillow placed on the stairs. He's not wearing a gambeson, but the fine steel sickle sword at his side makes it clear he's not just a regular guard. He stops what he's doing, carving a figurine from a log, and stands up to greet you. Cheers, Roadwarden. Servanius was told about your arrival. Follow me. He may be old, but he is tall, with the long and thin arms of sea folk, a neatly groomed beard, and his gray hair in a ponytail. As you follow him, you're hit by the strong scent of cloves. Cloves? What does cloves even smell like at this point? I don't know. I feel like I've seen them before, obviously, but I don't know. All I know is that if you put like a shit ton of them in anything, it like really fucks shit up. So don't do that. Put a pinch of cloves, not a bottle of them. I know cooking, definitely, and reading, definitely. The door is thick and can be barricaded with 2 wooden bars. The hall is filled with benches, some of which are placed on top of the others, giving a bit more space for now. There is one path to the next floor, especially carved with planks. The chamber is free of the roaring of the river, the shouts of workers, the chaos of animals, or the smell of a cooked food. The room is well lit by both sunlight and candles, and quite drafty, though you still smell perfumes and aging wood. You doubt anyone lives here, or even uses the room for dining. The Roadwarden's here, says the guard. Approach is the desk standing between you and the old woman sitting behind it. I take a closer look at her. Take a big little sip of water. Yes, I switched it around because I thought it'd be funny. So far, she hasn't spared you as much as a glance. She's writing on a large wax tablet with a stylus as large as a dagger. And since she's a bit stooped, since she was a bit stupid for a second, you see her only from the chest up. She's wearing a thicket warm dress the color of cherry, and an even darker, modest hat that's covering her hair. She could be older than 70, yet her face and hands have been spared from scars harsher than some pockmarks carved by illness. If you were to encounter her in Haviland, you would expect her to be an official or maybe a rich scribe. Some belongings, however, wouldn't be found in the city's desks. The wax of her tablet isn't dyed. Instead of keeping water in a cup, she has a large, colorful seashell, and the winged hourglass placed on the stone stand is made of dried seaweed. Glance at the young woman who sits in the corner. Crossbow is pointing at you. Oh shit, they got a gun on me. The resemblance between her and the elder is stunning, though she's slim and a bit taller, and wears a simple dark blue and black woolen tunic. While she's resting on a chair, she looks at you almost without blinking, with hardly any movement, like a cat staring at a rat. Trying to judge if you're a defenseless player or threat. Nice to meet you, Saravan. I came here to see if your village needs any help from Roadwarden. I still my arms. Considering the effort put into building this keep, I expected a bit of a larger garrison. No. Greetings. Cheers, old woman. No. Or, pat my axe. You didn't do a word, yet you skipped a few important steps when it comes to security. I kind of want to say that one. Just like, you didn't take my fucking weapon, idiots. I'm sorry to intrude. Are you busy? No, I want to do... You are an idiot. You skipped a few important steps when it comes to security. She looks at the young woman aiming you. We'd rather have you feel as if you had a chance of fighting for yourself. Her violet eyes turn towards you, studying you carefully. Not peck a butcher's hand like a squab. We won't attack you, but neither do we trust you. Follow our customs and you'll be safe. Oh, okay. Rex is not as thick as that among the villagers, keeping a shadow of the years when the guild had tighter ties with the peninsula. But since she has no teeth... What? You have to think for a moment before you recognize some of her words. If you want to chat, find yourself a gossiper. We have enough old people in this village, but if there's something only I can help you with, speak. She puts away her stylus and clasps her hands on the desk, observing you gently, but also exit. She has no teeth? Let's see. Let's see. Have you seen Asterin recently? He's also a Roadwarden. She shrugs and reaches for one of the candles, casting better light up on one of her smaller wax tablets. I know who he is, but I've only spoken with him a few times, and heard that he stopped visiting the village at the beginning of summer. If he was around, I would know about it. I would know about it. I would. You mentioned that you doubt a Roadwarden would simply ignore a headwoman of such a large village, and she looks at the ceiling, chewing on her bottom lip. I don't know what you're trying to imply, she says with a tone, but that won't accept any discussion. I had as much in common with him as I have with you. I don't trust strangers with a crucial task, and if a warden of any kind wants to demonstrate that they know what they're doing, I invite them to survive a year or two before they bark. Woof. I wish one of the responses was woof. I don't know why. I've heard something about necromancers in the north. You almost jump away when the crosswoman shifts her position, but she turns out to just be uncomfortable with the way she's sitting. That's shocking. Jesus Christ. This is kind of scary. I didn't think about this. She just literally has a gun pointed at me this entire time. So Vienna smirks, but as she starts to speak, her voice gets rose-worried. What happened to the White March is a sign of cowardice and weakness. I've seen my share of harsh years, and I sympathize, I do, with tribes that have to feed their people with tree bark, or decide which mother will eat enough to feed infants. But all them walking corpses will get out of their charms and murder their masters, like they always do. And instead of hunger and cold, they'll face the end of their souls. And all we can do is keep ourselves safe. Try to ask you more questions, but no avail. We don't really travel there often, stranger. And some of the knowledge we gathered on the place is for our ears alone. I nod. She can't trust that I will keep anything between us. Did the village face any struggles with the bandits? She looks at her guards and around her. Have you noticed where we are? We're safe enough to fight a dragon. If there are any bandits in our woods, they eat nothing barring timber and worms whenever we trade. We send groups of 10, 20 souls strong, enough to push away a few footpads. Okay. I spent a lot of time traveling between places. Do you have any work for me? She runs her eyes over you, then frowns as much as of subtlety. Show me first that you're worth something. Work with our fishers. Find someone seeking a messenger. I don't need a stranger for autumn. When we'll trade for winter grain. We did that. We're working with the fishers now. We have the money. We just need to go buy the rock. We'll do that in the morning. What can you tell me about the tunnel south from here? I can tell you that the venerable digger Luna will tell you more about it than you want to hear. She will. Before the war, it used to be crossed every 20 days, enough for us to keep it garrisoned. But with how little we use it now, it now has. I'd be mad to ask any of our youth to throw themselves at the beasts that live there. She glances at an open pouch that's lying there just nearby, with a few dragon rolls sticking out of it. Truthless grimace is hard to read. And don't offer me your services to merely get rid of the Awoken. I need long-term solutions, not violence. And sooner or later, another threat will take their place. It may just as well stay occupied. At least no vagabonds will take it over. If you say so. Patient running short outside. Savannah gestures for you to pause. Are you sure there other matters can't wait till tomorrow? Something else we need to discuss. So what Gale rocks. Speaks slowly. The kind of someone who may show an annoying brat that is once last chance to learn from their mistake. Do I look like someone who would be interested in spending time as a guide or a telltale? Before you answer, she starts to move around a few small packages and looks at someone. Scat. Spend some time among our walls. Seek the fishers, the artisans, all them lads and lasses whose blood keeps the shell of our village alive. I sigh. Farewell. Let's see what we can do. I want to see alchemist. Is there an alchemist? Villages have no forest garden and almost no foragers. There is no traditional potion making. You're told to ask Foggy about her own alchemy set, which uses to brew ciders and distill hard drinks. That makes sense. Let's see. What else can we ask for? Artisans. The locals craft mostly in winters and only work on things they need for themselves. The only year-long artisans are the carpenters and coopers, but even they produce almost exclusively barrels. That's enough for now. All right. Let's go buy that. Look for new equipment because we have 15. He didn't give me the money. He didn't give me the money. Wait, did he not? Or am I not allowed to use it for anything else? Inventory. I'll have to go back there and figure that out. What the fuck? He was supposed to give me money, wasn't he? He gave me 15. Step away. Let's just get to sleep then. Let's see. Where's the... Oh, fuck. What was her name? Shit. Oh, you hit sleep. Sleeping at the house. Rent labor. I think rent labor is going to be our best sweat. Rent labor. There we go. That's enough for me. After Fulvia blows out the candles, without considering if you're ready for it, you're in complete darkness, and you only now realize how quiet the room is. The thick walls blocking the humming of the winds, the birds, the river. The keeper heads to her own room, and you will only occasionally hear the whispers of or snores of other dwellers. My imagination sculpts terrifying creatures in the darkness, and it takes me a while before I calm down. I grow anxious as I focus on my breathing, then the beat of my heart. I hold on to my dagger and focus to the touch of my blanket. Finally, some peace. That's what I'm going to do. I don't want to give my guy anxiety out of nowhere. You wake up surrounded by darkness. The keeper's still outside. Next to the door, the fishers are getting ready. There they are. Go ask someone where you can load the wagon, she says slowly. As if you're meant to repeat these exact words. You're free from your duties after a few hours of work. Before you get a backache, you sit on a bench. The locals avoid your eyes. Yet you can swear you're being watched. The cloud of smoke starts to rise above the building. Many of the workers have already left the village. The remaining adults are either outside carrying timber, food, or other wares, or in their workshops, large of which are open air. The sounds of work muffle the conversations, so you mostly hear the shouts of children. Alright, I think that's a good place to stop at right now. I didn't plan to stream for too long tonight. I was mostly just going to go for an hour. Maybe a little over. That's fine with me. Drop a save. No, not a quick save, a real save. I'll have to go talk to those motherfuckers again about the money. But that should be it. So for now, thank you for watching. We'll be streaming again at 10 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to do You Suck at Parking, or maybe some of this. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure it out. But for now, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow. And most importantly, wow.